Okay, welcome everyone. Thanks so much for being here today. I know we started a few minutes late, so let's get right to it. So just a little bit about me. My name is Suzanne, and I'm an inner story coach. My motto is that I really help you to clear the path that lets your story flow. For 20 years, I've been working in natural stress management, and the last 10 years, I've been focused on working with screenwriters to help them clear their blocks, pitch with confidence, transform any unresolved past into deepening their emotional worldview, and also, most recently, uncover your unique value. And that's what today's program is all about. So, my screenwriting avatar, you might be kind of wondering, what is this all about? Well, it's going to be an interactive workshop today that we're going to do a couple different things. One is we're going to review some of the emotionally impactful events of your writing journey. And we're going to have some live writing exercises about those events with the goal ultimately to help you uncover and discover your unique value and authenticity as a writer. And you might be asking, well, why do I need to know my writing avatar? Well, because there are stories out there, but there's only one of you. And it's because it's you that is the unique part of your story. And it's because the industry wants you to show up, not anyone else. It's really time that we uncover the authentic version of you so that you can show up in your writing, you can show up in your life, you can show up in your pitches, you can show up in your collaborations, and every writing thing that you do. So you're sensing a theme here? Your writing avatar is all about you. You know, your writing avatar is who you are unapologetically as a writer, so that you can become a beacon for those who are going to best align to your authentic self and to help you bring your stories to life. So what you're going to need today is a comfortable space, hopefully, and pen, paper, tablet, laptop, whatever your preference is, to be able to take some notes and do some of the writing exercises. So I'm just going to give you about 15 seconds maybe to get that ready. And so here we go. You'll have time before we have our first writing exercise. So if you need to go low key at some, you'll have some time. So first and foremost, I want to just mention that the state of the world right now is major transformation. We're seeing so much of the world dismantle in front of our eyes. We're kind of shifting away from that old external control, which is how we kind of survived in the world. And it's time for us now to explore our personal alignment, our personal values from the inside out, because truly the value system of the future is your authenticity. You ever hear the phrase, the truth will set you free? Well, uncovering your true self outside of any external control like groups, organizations, institutions, jobs, cultures, religions, uncovering that true value of yourself is going to help you identify who you truly are. And that is free. That's freedom right there. If you want to have, we want to have that kind of experience of crystal clarity with each one of you. I mean, don't you just appreciate when you meet somebody in a conversation and they're just so real that you're like, oh, I just feel like a connection with them. They're so genuine, as opposed to someone who you might be having a fake conversation with. It just feels very inauthentic, like a waste of time. So frankly, the times have changed when it comes to the industry. In the past, the industry has wanted you to be what they wanted. And writers have jumped through hoops to figure out what these writers, producers, directors, agents, reps all wanted. And writers were writing outside of their own true identity in order to fit in. But square blocks do not fit into round holes. So what they don't want, and I say they, meaning the industry, but frankly, the whole world, is they don't want who you think they want. They don't want what you think that they want. They don't want flat. They don't want boring. They don't want monotone delivery. They don't want any void of uniqueness. They don't want pulselessness, fake, or anybody trying too hard. And you know this because going out in the world, you don't want those things either. So times have changed, right? These days, they want you. They want authentically you, originally you, unapologetically you, honestly, expressively you. You and your genuine flow, able to and willing to bend and adapt into the steps that bring your story to life. You know, I hate to tell you, but your stories can be very common and very similar. You are the unique element. You are the missing piece that they want to discover in your story, in you telling your story, in you being your story, because it's your uniqueness that's it is what gets you to stand out in a sea of, you know, very similar stories often. I mean, I hear a lot of pitches, hear a lot of story ideas, and a lot of them are the same. But what is unique is the delivery of the individual person and their value and their knowing their history of how they got to be able to tell this story. So as I mentioned in the beginning, you know, pretending just wastes time. You know, we've had these kinds of nice conversations with people, and, you know, it's just pretending, being fake, just wastes time. And you just cannot get that time back. Again, the quote, the truth will set you free. You know, truthful, honest communication lets you off the hook from having to pretend. Don't you just appreciate when someone comes and shows you exactly who you are so you can say, yes, I can connect with you, or no, you're not my people. But the truth helps you to stop wasting your time pretending. So I just really appreciate, and I'm sure that you do, when you find people that are real in your life. No matter if you agree with them or not, at least you know where where you stand with them, where they stand with you. It saves so much time and gets you aligned with the right people. So I love this. I use this example often. You've seen these Star Wars conferences, right? I mean, these people are not making any kind of you know, they're exactly who they are. They're exactly who they want to be. They are, you know, putting a stake in the ground saying, I am a stormtrooper. I'm D2. You've seen these people at these Star Wars conferences, and they truly embody exactly who they want to be there. There's no question. There's no guessing. They aren't trying to be anybody else but themselves in their uniqueness. So I want you to be as clear as a Klingon, right? I want you to be real, genuine, authentic, unique, you know, immensely valuable. So who are you as a writer? I want you to stop running, because a lot of us are just running as fast as we can into what we think that they want or what we think that we need to be for them. So just stop running, take a step back, and let's get clear on who you are. Because the truth is, they want you. And no, you don't have to be some kind of social media extrovert, but yes, you need to be clear on who you are as a writer. And a lot of you just don't know. I talk to a lot of writers, and you just don't know yet. You write a lot, but have you really connected with who you truly are, authentically, unapologetically? So today we're going to set you on that path to uncovering you as a writer. First step in getting there is we need to relax. We need to relax the body, and we need to have an open mind. So I'm going to invite us to do a few simple exercises that are going to help us get more calm and relaxed. So the first one is we're going to exhale. So let me give you the instructions first, and then we'll do this together. So I just want you to notice your breathing right now. Maybe even notice the depth of your breathing. We often take such small sips of air. It's totally normal. But on one of your next exhales, I want you to just exhale all the air out of your lungs. Don't have to take a big deep breath to do this. Just exhale all the air out of your lungs. So you pick the exhale and exhale all the air out of your lungs and hold it out. Hold it out as long as you can, and then wait for your body to take a nice spontaneous breath. So I invite you to start that now. Find a breath, choose an exhale. Exhale all the air out of your lungs, hold it out, wait for the body to take a nice spontaneous breath, and then just ease into some normal breathing. Now you can do this anytime, anywhere to help your body begin to relax. It's the exhaling of the body that helps it to relax, not the inhale, the exhale. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to squeeze release our entire body. So I want you first, if you're having shoes on, I just want you to kick off your shoes, or if you're barefoot, even better, and just lean into the outer edges of your feet. So I mean, like, lean into where your pinky toe is on the side of your foot all the way to your ankle on both feet at the same time. So just lean into the outer edges of your feet. It's great if you're just sitting down, but if you're standing, you can do it too. And then take your toes and smash your toes like a ballerina. So just smash those toes and get a nice stretch on your top ankle. And it might feel like a little burning, might feel a little pulling. And then I want you to shake and wiggle those feet out a little bit and just notice. Maybe you've got a sense of some circulation. Maybe you've got some sense of heaviness in the feet. And this is all around the context of becoming grounded. What does grounded mean? It means sensing connection through weight. So when we begin to stretch our feet, we begin to be in more of our body. And so I want you to make this a little bit more full body. So I want you to keep your feet on the floor. And I want you to lift your heels up and leave the balls of your feet on the floor. And I want you to squeeze your calf muscle. And now I want you to squeeze all your leg muscles, your glutes, your thighs, your hamstrings, all your calves, all your leg muscles. And then I also want you to shrug your shoulders up to your ears and make fists with your hands and squeeze everything in your entire body. And then just shake and wiggle it free and have a nice exhale. Let's do that together all one more time. Lift your heels up off the floor, squeeze all of your leg muscles, shrug your shoulders up to your ears, tighten your arms, make fists with your hands, squeeze everything. You might even notice some trembling, and then just shake and wiggle everything free and exhale. You might be feeling more of a deep sense of relaxation. You might be feeling an evenness of body temperature. You might be feeling some tingliness in your body, and all of these things are wonderful. And the last thing I'm going to invite you to do right now is imagine floating. So I want you to find your favorite body of water. It's the perfect temperature. It's just your favorite temperature. And I want you to walk into this body of water. Maybe it's an ocean, a lake, a bathtub, a pool. I don't know. It's your choice. It's your preference. And how do you float? Well, you have to kind of lean back and lift your feet up off the ground. So just do that now. Walk into the body of water, lean back, lift your feet up, and allow your body to float. And then just sink into that nice, easy rhythm of floating. And just enjoy the floating. This floating is your personal, natural rhythm and flow, which is a prerequisite for us to be able to get out of our busy, chatty head and into our body. So hopefully you've enjoyed that floating. So again, exhaling, squeeze, release, and floating. These are my 3 top tips that I share with screenwriters to help them get reconnected to the present moment, be in their body, and let that imagination flow. So back to, what is my writing avatar? Well, it's about getting clear on who you are as a writer. And what is that? It's your log line as a writer. It's who you are as a writer. It's, when did you start writing? Why did you start writing? What do you love to write about? Who inspires you? What inspires you? Why do you write? So how do you create your writing avatar? Well, it's a lot of unstructured notes. It's sort of a diary. They're short, expressive details of powerful impulses and urges and emotionally meaningful experiences and events that first got you writing, that continued to keep you writing. Now, these unstructured notes can be digital or handwritten, as I invited you in this workshop to grab a pen and paper, or maybe a tablet or a laptop, keyboard. So we're going to be writing about some of these expressive details of these experiences and events that you've had that have ignited you to start writing. And how do you continue to create your writing avatar? Well, you're going to keep up with it into the future. And remember, they're unstructured notes. This is not like a first draft of your life. This is just unstructured notes that eventually you will find a single thread that's going to pull all the way through, that thread is going to be your writing avatar. But as you continue to evolve as a writer, so your avatar will continue to evolve. And I love this phrase, just keep growing. And I capitalize the letters of going inside the word growing. So we're always going and growing. Okay, so here's our first writing exercise. So I'm going to ask you right now for the next, let's say 4 minutes. Next 4 minutes, I want you to write down without any structure, just letting it flow. Who are you as a writer? What's your current focus? What do you want? Where do you struggle? Just free flow and write that down. So we're going to start the timer now and we'll give you 4 minutes. If you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. I'm going to take a look there too. So we're about halfway through. You have 2 minutes left. You got 30 more. Okay, so time's up. Now I want you to take a look at what you wrote. Hopefully it's really unstructured and just like a lot of free flow. I ask this to every writer I meet, and it's often the same answer. They provide me with a very factual, chronological timeline of events. It's often very flat and not very engaging, and I'm checked out listening to it. So maybe you wrote something similar, kind of a resume of your writing jobs and some of your accomplishments, some milestones that you achieved, maybe some names of some scripts even completed or even unfinished, contests that you've entered, productions you've experienced, and maybe even some wishes or challenges about your writing, but mostly very kind of factual, list based. Am I wrong? So I want you to imagine that a tree house, and you had to write a story about a tree house. We're going to have lots of different stories about tree houses. Everyone's going to have a different tree house and how they describe it. So this is how I'm kind of wanting you to think about yourself. Which treehouse would you pick? Or is yours not even here visible to you? Maybe you'd think of a completely different treehouse to write about, to describe. You have a one of a kind perspective. It's your specific choices, it's your preferences. So no two tree houses could ever be exactly alike. And thank gosh, because now we can have that uniqueness that we're all craving. Remember, you are the best part of your script. Your writing avatar brings you to life, which is the unique part of your writing. Your story isn't unique, I'm sorry to say. You are the unique part of your writing. You are the storyteller. My writing avatar is a living document that is the story of you becoming a storyteller and you continuing to be a storyteller. It's the details of your writing journey and what's shaped you as a writer. It's finding those emotional points in your writing journey to understand who you uniquely are. So now I'm going to ask you to do another writing exercise. This one we're going to do for probably another 4 minutes. So I want you to go back to the first time that you ever wrote anything. How old were you? What was going on in your life? What thoughts were you thinking? What emotions were you experiencing? What did you write? Was it a poem, a short story, a full script, a letter? Why did you choose writing? How did writing make you feel when you were writing it? What did you write with? Did you write it handwritten? Did you type it? If you hand wrote it, what kind of paper did you choose? What kind of pen did you use? And when did you know you were finished writing it? And what did you do with that thing that you wrote? Maybe it's something that you just kept personal to you. Maybe it was your first finished script. I don't know. And did anything influence you? Was it a person, a place, a thing, a rite of passage for your generation? Was it a movie that you saw, a show that you watched, an actor that inspired you, a director, a producer? Was it location? Was it a color? So go back to your first writing experience. How old were you? What was going on in your life? What thoughts were you thinking? What emotions did you experience? What did you write? And why did you choose writing? I want you to be as specific as you can, be very detailed. I'm looking more for a bulleted list of things, not any structure of sentence structure at all here. So let's do another 4 minutes and we'll get started now. We're about halfway through. You have 2 minutes left. It's 30 seconds left. Okay. So take a look at what you wrote. Maybe just take the next 30 seconds and just look over what it is that you wrote. And are you noticing anything? Are you noticing any stories started to develop about you as a writer? Any common themes going on here? Any ahas that you're pulling out about your first writing experience and what it meant to you? Can you notice the difference for what you just wrote about your writing experience as opposed to what you wrote previously in the last writing exercise, which is more about telling me who you are as a writer? Which one feels more deep? Which one feels more like you? So we're going to do this again. And I want you to go to your second writing experience. What was, or maybe it wasn't just the second thing you wrote, but maybe it's the next thing you remember that you wrote. Now, I don't know how young or how old you are when you first started writing. It doesn't matter. But you're going to go to the next writing experience that you had. Again, what were you feeling when you started writing? Was there an inspiration, an impulse, an urge to write? What was going on in your life? What were the circumstances? Who was involved? What thoughts were you thinking? What emotions did you experience? What did you write? Did you have a genre of what you were writing? Was it a true story? Was it nonfiction? Why did you choose writing? How did that make you feel? Was it easier? Was it hard to write? Did you struggle at all? What parts of it were effortless? Did you write with someone or did you write alone? Which do you prefer? What did you write with? Handwritten? Type? How did you know when you were finished writing it? What did you do with it? Did anything influence you? So we're going to take 4 more minutes starting now to write about your second writing experience. So you're about halfway through. You have 2 minutes. So you have 30 seconds left. Okay. So I invite you to take a look at what you just wrote. Is it different from what the first writing experience was about? Were there any similarities? Were there any differences? Was there an evolution point? Just notice the difference, the similarities, if there's any common themes, if the differences were an evolution of you as a writer. Comparing this writing exercise to the very first one where you were writing about yourself as a writer, which was probably more of a resume style of events of what you've accomplished as opposed to who you are in your writing. So I want us to now take the next 3 minutes to really take a look at what we wrote from the first and the second times that we had writing experiences in our life. And maybe you can even think about a third or a fourth impactful time. And I want you to start to make some connections about what you wrote, finding the themes, finding any ahas, finding any words that you uniquely use that stand out, that describe how you wrote and why you wrote and who you are as a writer. What inspires you? Who inspires you? What do they look like, sound like, feel like? You know, you are your stories. You are every character. You are every personality, every behavior, every trait. It all comes from you. It all comes from what you have felt in your gut and has traveled up to your mind and come out as story. So I want you to kind of curiously explore, you know, your writing resume and timeline and go deeper with some of the details that you've uncovered in the last 2 writing exercises. So let's do this for the next 3 minutes starting now. You have about 1 minute left. Okay. So take a look at what you wrote. Does it feel like you? Does it feel clear? Fuzzy? Do you need some more information? If so, then outside of this workshop, maybe you can write about a third writing experience or a fourth writing experience and get really into the specifics about what you experienced in your thoughts, in your emotions, in the circumstances of what got you to write, and start to pull that thread all the way through so you can start to find those themes, those ahas, those uniquely describe who you are. So some people get stuck here, by the way, and if that's you, that's totally normal. And so I invite you to go ask nature, because nature knows and is constantly growing. Nature's honest, it's real. Nature has all the answers. So it might sound a little hokey, but go outside and hold a tree. Put your hand on a tree. The tree is rooted to everything that grows on Mother Earth. Touch a leaf, hold a leaf in your hand. If you held a leaf in your hand, you might even notice the veins of a leaf match up to the veins in your hand. So we are undeniably part of nature, and nature has its own rhythm and flow. You know, it's the evolution of our own thinking mind that has separated us from nature. So, you know, if you're looking to go deeper and finding out more who you are, get back to nature. Nature's going to help you uncover your unique rhythm and flow. And you might be somebody who enjoyed the floating exercise that we did earlier. Floating is going to really help you get more aligned with your own rhythm and flow, which is not too far away from nature's if you really start to allow yourself to let go and be in that flow. So, oh, sorry, skipped ahead too far. So my writing avatar, you know, knowing your writing avatar is knowing the story of your writing journey. It's those special touches, those nuances, those important experiences and influences that are unique to you that kept you engaged in your expressive art of writing. You know, you might not ever share this with anybody, but you knowing who you are is what it's really all about. So I wrote kind of a small example here of someone who shared with me their writing avatar after we worked together. Initially, I'd asked them who they are as a writer, and very factually and chronologically, they listed the same achievements and milestones in their writing that maybe you wrote in the first writing experience that we had here today. But yet, the latest writing avatar that this person has developed is from as young as I can remember. I loved history, maps, and researching geography. I would daydream about going places I've never been, only knowing those places from what I read. And imagination filled in the blanks. I read about explorers from ancient to modern times and imagined myself in their expeditions. Writing about them myself was a way for me to deeply imagine, feel a part of those expeditions. I drew on my own maps, bought clothes that they may have worn. I started writing at 8 years old, stories of hidden treasures and maps, and found myself expanding on the story throughout my life. I've traveled to 20 countries and explored mountaintops, caves, and every kind of climate. My writing also continues to be inspired by real-life explorers, yet the stories come from within me. It's a much different type of explanation of who you are as a writer. And again, this is not something that you might ever share with anybody. But remembering who you are helps you align with your unique value, your unique authenticity, so that whatever you want to share with others is coming from the most genuine, valuable place, which is you. So technically proficient pitches need expression. Many of us are not as expressive as those social media content creators. I know myself included. I am not one of those people. Still, as writers, you are deeply emotional and passionate people, sometimes very privately between you and your own script. And again, your script isn't unique. You are the unique part of your script. So connecting with your writing avatar is going to help you feel comfortable, confident in being authentically you, which is the best part about what you write. It's your unique perspective, how you feel about it, that makes you stand out from the rest. So please stop trying to be what they want and identify with your unique value as a writer and share that version with you unapologetically. Remember, I said be a beacon. A beacon is defined as, a beacon is intentionally conspicuous device designed to attract attention to a specific location. You are that location, by the way. We want them to find you. We want them to see you. You're just going to become a good fly swatter, right? Because a lot of the bugs get attracted to the light too. But you want to just stand in your truth. Be that stormtrooper at the Star Wars conference. You know exactly who you are. You're not trying to be anybody else. Just let you be out there. So finding your writing avatar is finding you in your writing. Find your writing voice. Find your writing passion. Find your writing authenticity. And find that thread that connects you and your life and all your writing experiences to uncover your uniqueness. Remember, they want you, unapologetically you, authentically you, not a socially extroverted, flashy version. They want real, genuine, deep, confident, unique, immensely valuable, knowing your value. Because they're not wasting their time. Believe me, I talk to a lot of directors and producers, and they're not saying, oh, yeah, well, tomorrow I have to listen to 20 pitches, and oh gosh, I guess, maybe I'll have to wait till the end of the day before I get the good one that I'm really looking for. If you're up first, believe me, they want it to be you. They're like, oh, please let it be this person. Please let them just show us who they are. They don't want to waste their time. They don't want to waste your time. Find those connections between you and your audience to even see if they're the right audience. They want you. They want you, genuinely you. And what a relief if they tell you, no, that's not what they're looking for, because they wouldn't be the person or the group to bring you and your story to life. And if that is your reaction, if that is your experience to have, them decline, it's you just being redirected to you to get more clear on who you truly are, because you would feel a little bit of resistance going into a meeting or a pitch or any endeavor if you didn't believe that you were completely the right choice for that. And how you get there is to find out who you are. So in summary, knowing your writing avatar is gaining clarity about who you truly are, uncovering your authentic self, discovering your personal values and attributes. It's helping you to deeply connect with yourself as a writer, reminding you of who you are, and reminding yourself that you're an original. And what that's going to help you with is it's going to help you in your writing, help you have confidence to write deeply emotionally connected storylines, to help you pitch with confidence, connect with the right people, whether it's writing partners or anybody involved with your scripts or projects about your scripts. And it's also going to help you know who isn't a fit with you. So be that beacon, and you will be able to engage and align with all of the right people and part of your writing journey. So I'm going to take any questions that you might have now in the chat. I know we just did a lot of work right here at the top of the hour. It's perfect timing. Any questions, comments, Are you feeling a little bit more aligned? You feeling like you're getting closer to knowing who you are? So Davida asks, is it sometimes best to hide who you are to avoid prejudice? In any case, thanks for the guidance. You know, you really need to be that stormtrooper at the Star Wars conference. You need to set yourself free and not have to worry about people's judgment against you, because anybody who's judging you is not the right people for you. They're not your people. You have got to be free to be yourself. And in that freedom, you will attract the right people. You will attract a lot of, as I mentioned, you just need to be a good fly swatter in allowing just the right people in. Let people show you who they are. Don't let people tell you who they are. Let them show you who they are. So you can give them a little bit. You don't have to give them everything. Remember, your writing avatar is about you knowing this for you, not necessarily for you to share it with everybody, because that can be very vulnerable. So knowing this for you is going to help you get that confidence and also help you to get so clear that you'll know who your audience is, if the right audience or not. Any other questions? Well, I thank you so much for listening to me today and joining in on this workshop. Hopefully it was valuable exercise for you. I'd say, I know this is going to be up on YouTube and some other platforms, so feel free to rewatch it again, maybe go through some of the exercises, and be curious enough to maybe keep a writing avatar diary of your own and go back into your own history, your own emotional, experience as a writer. Keep jotting down those unique words and phrases that describe who you are, the impulses, the urges, the excitement, what you wrote, why you wrote it, and develop that until you come up with some kind of theme, some ahas that pull that thread through that are going to help you know who you are. Wonderful. Thank you all too for participating. So Scott, I'm going to give it back to you.
I think I muted myself. Is there anything else that you would like to direct people to? Anywhere else, Suzanne? Your website or anything like that?
Oh, sure. I mean, I had it up there earlier. My website is Screenwriting now. If anybody's interested, I do private one-on-one sessions to help you uncover your writing avatar. For obvious reasons, as we mentioned today. Also, if anybody has any problems with clearing blocks or getting ready to pitch with more confidence or struggling with any Act 2 transformations of your stories, I help you to get through those points and deepen your emotional worldview. So happy to help anybody who's interested. If not, thanks so much for listening to me.
That's wonderful. Thank you. And come on right back here on our YouTube page. February 5th, we'll be talking with Jen Gersanti, notable TV consultant. Max Tim and I will be leading that conversation. But I don't know. Again, thanks for joining us. And if we can ever be of help to you, please just comment, let us know, and we're here for you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.